Welcome to the start of the course. I value your time and I value your investment that you made in this course. So we're going to cover as much information as possible today. So let's get started. Now we're going to go back to 3 years ago when I first started my business. Now, even if you're a year or 2 years into your business, it's okay because we need to go back and we all need to start from the same point. So I started 3 years ago. I didn't know any friends or anybody who had a boat. So what I did, I made up some flyers real quick and I went out and went house to house, started knocking on doors. And I remember the first time, or after a few houses, I knocked on a door. I asked the client or prospect, "Are you looking for detailing services?" They said yes. I came into their house. We went to the back of his house. We looked at his boat and I booked that client. So you're gonna see how I did this whole process. Now, I was fortunate to do this in person, so you're gonna see exactly how I take you through the process to booking your client. So a lot of people don't have that opportunity unless you're super confident and you're willing to go door to door to get your first sale, which I do recommend. But maybe you post on Facebook, you post on Instagram, or somebody texts you, right? Somebody knows that you started your business and you get the first opportunity to get with a prospect. Now, when somebody texts you or emails you, you don't want to keep that simple form of communication. You have to upgrade it to a phone call. So there's going to be steps today that we cover from actually getting the client who reaches out to you to booking them and actually servicing their boats. So get that client on a phone call. So schedule a phone call with your client, reach back out on Facebook Messenger or text, but tell them that you need to schedule a phone call. When you get to this phone call, there's some few steps that we have to cover. So number one, you need to get their name. Number two, you need to get their email. Number three, you need to get the make, model, and year of the boat. And number four, you need to get the address or location of the boat. Now, if the location of the boat is their house, that is amazing. If it's at a marina, that's okay too. We can get the information and address of their house later in the process if we need to. But these are the four things that you need to get out of a phone call in terms of information. So you're going to get this client on the phone and you're going to ask them first off, how have you been maintaining your boat in the past? And this is where the prospect is going to explain whether he or she has been keeping up on the boat or whether he or she has been working with another company to detail the boat. And just a simple frame of reference, if the boat is 5 years or newer, this is a perfect prospect for a wash and wax. If the boat is older than 5 years, typically this will require more detailing work. And this is not what's covered in the course today. Today we're talking about the wash and wax, how to make money washing and waxing boats. And this is certainly super reasonable and there's plenty of work out there to do this because a lot of people do have new boats and are looking for simple services, at a fair, reasonable price. And this is where you can come in and really thrive. So once the client is finished explaining how the boat's been being taken care of in the past, you can now jump to the next part, which is the make, model, and year. It's very important you have that year. And then if you don't know the make and model, this gives you the opportunity to look this boat up online after your phone call to see what you're working with and kind of what price you maybe are thinking of in your head before you actually schedule that meeting face-to-face with the client. And after this part of the process, you want to tell them that you're going to come out to the boat and you're going to do a couple test spots on the boat to show them the results. You want to tell them that you don't want there to be any speculation of what the results are going to be when you come out and work on the boat. So this is very important because detailing is a results-driven industry and you want to make sure that you can show the results to the client. The more test spots that you can do, the better. If you can do a test spot on the gel coat to clean it up, wax it, show them exactly what that's going to look like. You can do a test spot on their vinyl. If they have mold and mildew on their vinyl, remove a section of that mold and mildew and show them that you can do that for them. And then, if they want their bright work done, do a spot on their bright work, maybe remove a rust stain, which we're going to cover all this throughout this course. But these are some of the things you can do to really encourage your client to book with you. So once this part of the process is done, normally the client or prospect is going to be super thrilled and happy about this. And you can schedule a day and time to meet in person. Now, this is usually normal, but sometimes on a rare occasion, the client might be out of town or the client might be a snowbird. For example, I live in Florida, so some of these clients travel up north and I don't get to see these clients in person down here. Now, this is rare. If this happens, the thing you can do is you can go out to the boat You can look at everything you need, get the quote, and then you can schedule a face-to-face. Try to schedule a FaceTime with them. If not, you can talk on the phone. Just know that it's a little harder to book clients this way. But all we're doing in this phone call process is getting basic information because we still don't have a prospect booked. This is just simple information. And again, name, email, make, model, and year of the boat, the location of the boat. Tell them that you're gonna come out, do a test spot, ask them what they've been doing to maintain the boat in the past. So this gives you an idea of your head of what you're dealing with. And remember, the 5 years or newer is the boats that you're looking for in terms of a wash and wax prospect. And then that's all you need to get in terms of information from them on the phone. So you're gonna schedule this day and time to get a face-to-face meeting where you and a prospect can go over the boat together. So you get here, you're gonna learn more about their personality, if they're gonna be a good fit with your company, because not every single prospect is gonna be a good fit for your company. Sometimes if people ask things like, can you beat this other price? Can you do better than this price? Or how cheap can you be? Can you go lower than this? When people really start negotiating on price, this is a red flag, and you need to be confident in your services. And you might ask, can I work with someone's budget? Well, you gotta be careful here because you can never downgrade your quality of work. So when someone is doing a wash and wax, you have to make sure that wash and wax quality is there. There's no compromising on the wash and wax part. But as you'll see throughout this course, I combine this wash and wax into a package for the client. So what you can do is you can actually downgrade the package. You can take out bright work, you can take out vinyl, you can take out windows or isinglass, or some of these smaller parts of the package to maybe fit their budget, but you can never sacrifice your quality of work. Another thing that you should never do is use the products that the client has. Every once in a while, you run into a client who wants you to use their products, and oftentimes these products are cheap products from Walmart, or there's cheap waxes that don't hold up long on your boat. Today, we're gonna be talking about the best products to use on your boat. So never use the products that the client asks for, because sometimes these products aren't even safe or supposed to be used on gel coat. So stay away from that. This will protect you, your reputation in the future. And they're hiring you because you are the professional, right? So you do what you need to do. Be confident about what you're doing, what you're using, and let them know that hey, we have to use our products. These are the products we're comfortable with. These are the products that last the longest and have the most durability. And just tell them that straight up. And always be kind, always be nice to your client. Even if they're not a good fit for you, all you have to do is tell them they're not a good fit with your company, and maybe we can work together in the future if something changes. Leave on good terms, always leave on good terms. Never argue, never get in confrontation with your client, never yell at them or scream at them or make them feel bad. Always stay level-headed and calm through the whole process. Now you can move on to actually doing the test spots and showing the client, like we talked about, the results that they're gonna get from this detail. Now, you also wanna make sure that you really analyze the boat and you actually walk through the boat, and you don't just take a lousy approach. Actually walk through the boat, look at everything, and just get an idea, because you wanna know exactly what you need to do when you book this client on that day of the job. So see, is there anything broken? Is there anything damaged? Or is the client asking about anything specific? Always ask the client if he has any major concerns, because if you can fix these concerns for the client, then you're really gonna make a happy client in the future. Because maybe another detailing company was doing something that the client didn't like, or they never paid attention to, and now you have the opportunity to come in and fix that for the client, and this is gonna create a super happy client, and this might even lead to a review in the future, which is gonna slowly start to help build your reputation. So after all this is done, now you can get in terms of pricing to the client. So this will be covered in the last module of the course, so stick around and stay to the end. But here is the price. You're gonna give them the price, and now you're gonna tell them, because you have their email now, you're gonna tell them that you're gonna write up a quote, and you're gonna send this quote over to them via email, and you wanna do this as soon as possible. Also, this is a time to tell them that you require a 20% down payment to hold their spot in the schedule. This is very important, because if you don't require a down payment, this gives opportunity for the client to search for other quotes, and it just gives them a chance to back out last minute. So if you can get them to give you a 20% down payment as soon as possible, this is the approach that you should use. And when you're doing the email and you're sending over the estimate, these are some simple things you can do. Now, what I did was I have Excel, and I formulated my own quote, which I will link in this course for you to look at. But you can also find quote templates out there. It's just got to be something simple with your company on it, the name of your company, the location, and then all you have to do in the details is include the customer's name, email, phone number, because you have to have their information. And then you want to make sure you have the boat description, what the boat is, have a description of what you're doing to the boat. I just put wash and wax. Have the terms, when the quote was created, when the quote is valid through. And I just put the quote is valid until payment has been paid in full. So this is important that you put that. And then below, this is the actual quote part. We're gonna include step by step. I like to do it step by step, what I'm doing to the boat, so the owner can actually follow along and he can have a vision in his head of what I'm gonna be doing to his boat, and he can kind of follow along that whole process. And then at the end, I'm gonna put a place for him to sign, or he or she to sign, and then they're gonna send that quote back to me. And this is official now. So you have the 20% down payment, you have the signed quote, you are all good, you're protected, you're safe, and you're ready to do business and provide ultimate value for your prospect who has now turned into a client. And another thing that you need to do in this process is you need to, if you don't have Excel, I really recommend you get Excel, or you need some software system, whether you have to download it, and record your client's information. Record the date of service of the detail, record the name of the client, the make, model, year, the address, the email, and just the basic information that you need, because in the future, this comes down to recurring business. As a business owner and as successful business, you don't want to always be searching for new clients. You want to have repeat clients that come back to you, because this is basically just easy money in the future, because you already have a client who trusts you and you can now get this client on a schedule. So always write the date of service and make sure you run through your clients every month and see when these clients need to have recurring service and reach back out to them, because you want to get that repeat business. It's so important for growing and scaling your business. So after all of this has been done, now you're ready to jump to the process. You have the client booked in your schedule, and we're now going to get started on a process which you can follow along on the next part of this course in the next module.